Hello, I'm Belinda Wild and I'm the drama course coordinator here in Kinsale College, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about the project that we're engaged in at the moment, which is The Tempest by William Shakespeare, and we're performing it as a piece of site-specific theatre, which means a piece of theatre which goes outside a theatre and is performed in a location which isn't a theatre. And by site-specific, what that means is that we've chosen a site that will enhance the understanding and the meaning of the Tempest, both for the students and for the audience. So we chose the Dock Beach, which is a beach in Kinsale Town, which is wonderful that we have these sites locally near the college. And it's also known as James Fort, because up from the beach, you walk up from the beach up some steps and there's a wonderful green area and a lot of ancient buildings, including an old fort. So what better place to do the Tempest? So the Tempest is the first project for the second year drama students. It's a 2-year full-time course, and so they will have completed their foundation training and they come back in September in their second year and they launch straight into this project. So the aims and objectives of this project are multifold, really. One, it's to get them back into action again, having just had 3 or 4 months to consolidate and absorb all the things that they've achieved in the first year. And second, it's to begin to prepare them for the journey that they'll embark on throughout the year. And this is very much about enabling the students to take on those core skills that they've developed in first year and to begin to own them and to make them their own. So we've given them the tools, we've showed them how to use them, but now they need to practice using them. So this project, it's Shakespeare as well, which is my particular love. We have our own Shakespearean theatre in college, which they work in the first year, so they get a sense of how Shakespeare's globe works, and now they're taking it out. So first of all, this project is unlike their end of year play projects in that this time they choose their own parts. So unlike being cast by the director, I asked them first of all, what parts would you like to play? And some of them chose 1 part, some of them chose 2, some of them chose 3, and then I choose the scenes that we are going to do. And part of this is a character exercise, so that the students can really embrace the characterization skills and what's involved in inhabiting a character. But not only that, but that they can also become aware of the kind of parts that they would like to embrace. And they take ownership of that. They can no longer say, oh, I could have done that role if I'd been cast in it, because they cast themselves in it. So that said, obviously what happens then is that we had 5 Prosperos and 3 Calibans. So we had many students playing one role. So that gave us then a lot of exciting, creative opportunities, because your problem becomes your creative solution. So we then looked into costume. So I suggested that each actor had their own character-specific costume. So they built up a costume that was fitted with their own version of Caliban or Prospero, but that each character then had to have at least one signifier, so one prop or piece of clothing that got passed from actor to actor playing that role, so that there was a through thread for the audience. As a learning tool, this was fantastic, because it meant that the students really had to really understand their role, but specifically their role in the context of the scene that they were playing in. And it also meant that each actor could meet with the other actors playing the role, and they could brainstorm and talk about the character. So they really got a great depth, a range of character, and the audience feedback that we have from the production is that was very exciting for them to see so many different versions of one character. So that was a great thing. So going to the Tempest, to the beach itself, what does it give us? Primarily, it gives the actors, again, the opportunity to really explore what we call here authenticity. Authenticity in delivery of lines. Another word for that is belief. Another word for that is truth. That if they are doing the tempest and the reaction to the tempest, and they really are at the sea with the wind and the rain and the rocks. They can envisage that much more thoroughly and much more truly, and it's much more believable for an audience. So I suppose in a way it gives them the same, similar to hit to what you might get with a film, except that there's no stopping or starting in short shots. It's all the way through. So the audience and the actors do genuinely go on an adventure, on a journey together. And in performance, the students make new discoveries in the moment about their characters, which is, in the end of the day, is the most important skill that any actor can have, which is the ability to be present in character, present in the moment, and to be spontaneous and authentic in their delivery, specifically to another actor and also to the audience, to hook them in. So that site-specific opportunity is wonderful for that. So again, the site-specific opportunity gives us many other challenges that are very useful learning tools for the students. One is that production management is a challenging one, because what we did is it was a promenade performance, so that meant that there was no location used twice. So we started off on the beach, and then the audience moved from scene to scene. They moved up the steps and around the area upstairs, up the steps onto the fields, and so all this in terms of setting up was very important, because the actors needed to know where they were going to do costume changes, where they needed to preset instruments, where they needed to preset props. So then we needed to organise tents, blow-up tents, that we could just put strategically in places to keep things dry, because obviously when you're outside you can't guarantee that there's going to be good weather. And we were very lucky for performance day, but for rehearsals, we had many rehearsals in the rain and the cold, which again gave us a true experience of what it might be like to be in a storm, or in the afterflows of a storm. So the other particular things that we had to explore was health and safety. Obviously health and safety is a big issue in a theatre as well, but it's a different challenge outside, because you have to check things like uneven floor. For instance, when we arrived, there was masses of seaweed had been washed up from a storm, and was move all the seaweed to create a path for the audience and the actors so that they didn't slip. We had to enrol the first year drama students to be ushers, to show the audience where to go, to be on hand if somebody needed an arm to help them go up a step. And the other thing was there's an awful lot of dog dirt in James Fort. So at the beginning we went with shovels and buckets and we cleared the dog dirt, both for ourselves and for the audience. So that's a challenge that's very interesting. It's very real for the actors to have to address. So finally, I suppose, is that delightful shared experience that for an audience to come and see a production in a live area, actually on the beach, on a hill, to see actors really genuinely playing roles and believing in them, it feeling very, very real is incredibly exciting. And it's the kind of live, moving cultural event that we like to promote here, and that we encourage our students to get engaged with once they leave Kinsale, because it's extremely exciting. Thank you.